If you voted for Trump, you hate our military, you hate our veterans, and you hate anyone who's ever served our country. Because what Trump says is a reflection of your values. And what he said today in his Memorial Day post was not only disgusting, it was psychotic, and it was an embarrassment to our country. So, f*** you.
Well, now hang on there. We want to make sure that we get the messaging right. This gentleman says, me celebrating and slapping every American, in parentheses, implying that they're not Americans for doing what he's about to talk about, that says Happy Memorial Day. He wants to physically assault every person who says Happy Memorial Day, according to his own post. And while I agree you shouldn't say Happy Memorial Day, I just don't think it needs to result in physical violence. But hey, you do you. But while you do you, I have some unfortunate news, because while it's barely a day old, that post already hasn't aged well, and you might need to find a new hat. Donald Trump issued a Memorial Day message today that he started by saying, Happy Memorial Day. And then it actually got worse from there, because he just went on a rant about, the radical left and criminals and the mentally insane and incompetent presidents and gang members and prisoners and murderers and drug dealers. Oh my, you know what he didn't talk about in his entire Memorial Day post? Not once. The people who died to secure the country he is currently the leader of. He couldn't be bothered to talk about them. But then again, what do you expect from a guy who faked bone spurs so he wouldn't have to serve? So when you're making your little list of Americans, be sure to add your president to it.
Have you seen this Memorial Day message yet? Happy Memorial Day to all, including the scum. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing to build unity amongst the American people and stop the divisiveness. Warped radical left minds who allowed 21 million people to illegally enter our country. This is real. Our president has taken the time to use Memorial Day as an opportunity to attack the left. There's no mention of the soldiers in here. There's no mention of the sacrifices they made or the history behind Memorial Day. This is insane. Someone needs to take his fucking phone away and throw him out of the office. And a couple weeks from now, he's going to have a military parade with thousands of soldiers marching in front of him. And he can't even mention them in his Memorial Day post.
I hope you really hear me on this, especially if you're someone who still supports Donald Trump. Because what he posted this morning, Memorial Day, wasn't just offensive, it was heartbreaking. It was bitter, it was personal, it was full of blame and ego and rage, and not even a sentence, not even one sentence about the people today is actually meant for. And I already know what people are going to say. He was fighting back, he's under attack, he's not wrong. That's politics, I get it. But today's Memorial Day. This is the one day we set aside as a nation to honor the men and women who never came home. The ones who gave everything, the ones whose kids grew up without them, whose parents buried them, whose names are etched into a stone because they stood in our place. And this man, our president, used today to post a rage-filled tirade and slapped Happy Memorial Day at the end of it, like somehow that made it okay. It didn't. It just showed us again where his head is at, where his head has always been, on himself. And I don't care who you voted for. I've said that before, and I mean it. But regardless, you have to ask yourself, is this okay from any president? Would you be fine with Biden posting this today? Would you be fine if Obama had done it, if George Bush had? This is not about right or left. This is about decency. And if we're so loyal to a person that we've lost our ability to be honest when they screw up, then maybe this isn't loyalty anymore. Maybe it's something else. A real Memorial Day message could have been pretty simple. It could have said, today we honor the fallen. We remember their names. We hold space for the families who carry their absence. May we live lives worthy of their sacrifice. Period. And if he had something else to say, he could have said it tomorrow. That post could have waited. But respect doesn't wait. If you've lost someone in service, you deserve better. Your person deserves better. This day shouldn't be about him. And if we're someone who read that post and felt even a flicker of discomfort, Good. Sit with it. Let it bother you. Because this isn't about being Democrat or Republican. It's about being human. And no matter what side you're on, we should all be able to agree. Grief is not a prop, and Memorial Day is not a platform for your tantrum. I'm Zach. This is Holy and Human. And if your gut's telling you something's off, you're not wrong.
DT ignited a firestorm of criticism on Memorial Day 2025 with a series of social media posts that attacked political opponents and critics. A stark departure from the traditional solemn and unifying tone, of the holiday. On Monday, May 26, 2025, DT took to Truth Social to wish America a happy Memorial Day, but controversially extended his greetings to include the scam that spent the last 4 years trying to destroy our country through warped radical left minds. His post also include sharp attacks on former president, whom he labeled incompetent, while blaming him for an open border. DT further assailed the federal judges who have previously blocked his policies, referring to them as US-hating judges and monsters who want our country to go to hell. Accusing them of protecting criminals, he also made a disputed claim that 21 million people had illegally entered the United States. While DT later delivered a more traditional Memorial Day address at Arlington National Cemetery, his earlier online remarks had already drawn widespread condemnation. Critics, including political commentators and numerous social media users, slammed the post as divisive, disrespectful to the solemn occasion, and unpresidential. The language used was described as explosive social media tirade and political firestorm, adding to the controversy a separate, more straightforward, happy Memorial Day. Post from Trump also drew criticism from some, pointed out that Memorial Day is a day of somber remembrance for fallen service member, not a happy holiday. The stark contrast between DT inflammatory social media rhetoric and the customary reverence of Memorial Day fueled accusation that he was politicizing a day that meant to honor national sacrifice. Many people have reacted to DT's Memorial Day post, stilled controversy due to its aggressive tone and political attacks. Memorial Day is traditionally a solemn occasion to honor, fallen soldiers. But DT took an opportunity to his social media account to criticize political opponent, judges, immigration policy. His post, written in all caps, referred to his critics, as a scam and accused the US hating judges of allowing criminals into the country. Now, the first thing people claimed that he did was disrespecting the solemnity of Memorial Day. Critics argued that instead of focusing on honoring military personnel, DT used the occasion to attack his political opponent and federal judges. His post referred to his critics as scam and accused judges of having, a sicky and a very dangerous ideology. Many found this language divisive and inflammatory. Rather than a message of unity or remembrance, his post was seen as a continuation of his ongoing political battles, particularly against, the judiciary. Contrast with his Arlington speech. While his speech at Arlington National Cemetery was more traditional and respectful, his social media post stood in stark contrast, leading to accusation of insincerity. Many expressed disappointment, feeling that the post, overshadowed the day purpose of honoring these soldiers. Some saw it as disrespectful to those who served. And then another thing, they have seen it as, attacking the political opponent, attacking the left. Democrats and critics condemned the post as divisive and inappropriate, arguing that Memorial Day should be about unity and remembrance rather than the political attacks. But now there is something we cannot forget. DT supporters. Men, Diddy supporters have largely defended his Memorial Day post, viewing it as reflection of his strong stance on national security and judicial reform. Many of them believed his criticism of judges and immigration policies are justified, arguing that he is standing up against what they see as a broken system. Some supporters praised his willingness to speak bluntly, appreciating his direct approach to political issues, even on a solemn occasion like Memorial Day. However, there were also mixed reaction among conservatives, while his core base largely backed his message. Some Republicans and veterans expressed discomfort with the tone of his supporters, feeling that Memorial Day should be reserved for honoring fallen soldiers rather than political attacks. Alright folks, thank you so much for watching. Tell me what do you think about this episode. Tell me what do you think about DT post about the Memorial Day. Let's meet in the next episode.